When you test or do proof of concepts, a lot of times you just want something very small, but it needs to kind of represent a larger set of data, or a very large set of data. But you don't want to deal with large sets of data are bulky and they are slow to respond, and it makes your development cycle longer. So you'd like to take the exact same structure and data, but in a very much smaller sample of it, so that you can develop and test and iterate through your tests quickly. And then once you get your code working the way you want, then you can go ahead and escalate that code up to a larger database. So I have a database that's very large and a table that 517 million rows. And really, to do a lot of stuff with that kind of row set, it's much slower. So I want about 600,000 rows. What it incorporates is a database snapshot technology, which is an enterprise edition feature, but it's a really great feature for many different scenarios, this scenario being one of them. Okay, I'm going to start with a demo, and this is the demo. And there's 10 steps to this demo. And I'm going to have it in a document that you can download from, based on the hyperlink you'll see in the description area of this YouTube video. First of all, I want to go ahead and see what we have in the current database. The database we're looking at is POC, Proof of Concept Template, DW Large. This is a 64 gigabyte database with the big table, which is 517 million rows. So I run this query here, and I get the results, and the results are down here. Okay. So we see we have the 517 million, and I had discussed the problems with that size table. Now here is where I do the actual snapshot. So you see create database, and I put down the name of the database plus the word snapshot and plus the time I created it, which is 2017 April 19th at 10:25. Now it's 10:27. And then we give it the name and where we want it stored. So it's going to be stored out on G snapshots Z with the same name. And here's the magic here where you say as snapshot. So I'm backing up the database name here, or really the file that it's saved under, or the logical name that it's saved under in the file properties. We're going to create a database, a snapshot. How long is this going to take? Well, let's see. So I execute, and it's done. So it took 1 second. Okay, or 65 gigs if you look at it from this perspective. But look at what size on disk is. It's 128K. That's really how big it is. So what it does with this snapshot business is that whenever something from the time you make that snapshot going forward occurs, then it updates the snapshot. So basically it's just a baseline. It's not a real backup. So don't treat it like a real backup. You got to have your backups. But a snapshot gives you a point in time, and then any changes after that are recorded into the snapshot. And here I'm going to go ahead and copy 600,000 random records from that big table. Remember I said that's how many I want. I'm going to stick them into a temp table right here. Okay, so we're going to go to step number 4, and now we're going to truncate the fact online sales. And again, the insert here was insert into the fact online sales, which is empty now. And I'm selecting from that temporary table, which has 601,000 rows in it. And when that completes, then my fact online sales will have 601,000 rows in it. Okay, which is exactly the goal of what I'm trying to do here. Okay, I'm trying to make that database, that large database, into a small database. It's what the temp table looks like. And it comes back very quickly, 601,000. Beautiful. So now this database looks exactly the way I want it to. It's exactly the same as a big database, except for I have less rows in that gigantic table. I want to type in small. Or let's say for small POC template. All right, I'm pretty verbose. Okay, so that will be my backup there. All right, I'll do, let's make sure my large backup is 11 gigabytes. That's one that totally takes like an hour and a half or 2 hours to restore. But look at my small one, the new one, 524 megabytes. Okay, so it's like I say, it's so much smaller than the large one. Okay, restore the database snapshot to bring it back to the large state. Okay, so we know our current database is in this 601,000 rows, right? But now I'm going to bring it back, and I'm going to, okay, so if I select it again, which we know the answer, it's 601,000. But then here I'm going to do what we do as a restore from that database I created initially, right? The snapshot. So I'm going to restore the database from that snapshot, okay? Now, and then we're going to see how long that takes, okay? We know if we had to restore it from a normal database, it's like an hour and a half. Okay, so let's go ahead and kick that off. All right, well, that took 16 seconds, which is pretty darn quick. So let's see what happens when we do with rollup here. Now I'm going to test that database again on that big table. Let's see if it all came back. And I go to execute. And if things go right, we'll see 517 million rows there. Oh, but the database snapshot is so fast. We were able to, we didn't have to go through a full restore. But again, there's a lot of things you need to know about it before you start utilizing it. Okay, it's not a real backup, so don't go wiping out all your data and not have any real backups. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do step 9 real quick, and that's to drop the database. Remember, we're dropping the snapshot. Do not drop the real database. This concludes this video. Please come and see more of my videos at www.sqlcoop.com. Thank you.